The stock market, people think it's all about supply, demand, and fair play, but in reality? Billionaires are bending the rules every single day. They can make a random penny stock explode, or crash a blue-chip giant overnight, all without technically breaking the law. And the craziest part? Most of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. Pump and dump. Picture this: you're a billionaire and you come across some tiny penny stock company. Maybe they're making electric toothbrushes, or something equally silly. You quietly load up on a massive stake early on. Then the hype train begins. You ring up your buddy at CNBC and drop a casual line, "Hey, heard about this groundbreaking oral care tech?" You toss out a cryptic tweet like, "The future of dental hygiene is here," and your 50 million followers go wild. Maybe you even get photographed holding their toothbrush at some charity gala. Suddenly, people are calling you the Warren Buffett of toothbrushes. The stock price triples within a week. Regular folks rush in, convinced they've stumbled onto the next Tesla. Meanwhile, you quietly unload your entire position, spreading it through different trading firms over a few days. When the smoke clears, you've pocketed $200 million. And everyone else? They're stuck holding shares in a company that just makes vibrating toothbrushes. The best part, you never technically lied. You only showed some enthusiasm. And if anyone asks, you'll say you're a long-term believer in the company's vision, even though you already cashed out. Enron execs pulled a similar trick. 29 of them sold over $1 billion in stock before the company collapsed. Dark pools. Now let's say you want to buy $500 million worth of Apple shares. If you tried doing that in public markets, everyone would spot those giant orders instantly. The price would skyrocket before you even finished buying, costing you way more. But inside a dark pool, you can scoop up that entire position without anyone noticing. No price spike, no transparency, no fairness. You're essentially trading in a secret market reserved for the ultra-wealthy. The wild part? Regular investors think what they're seeing on Robinhood or Fidelity is the real market. In reality, they're only getting half the picture. You're making moves in the shadows, and they don't even know you exist. And as of 2025, more than half of all U.S. stock trades actually happen in dark pools. Big banks like Goldman, Morgan Stanley, and Credit Suisse run them. Totally legal, SEC approved, but it's basically a hidden parallel market where billionaires play behind closed doors. Stock buybacks. So, you own stock in a company. Instead of pouring money into research or paying workers better, you pressure the company to buy back its own shares. This is basically legalized price manipulation. It was actually illegal before 1982 until Reagan's SEC gave the green light. When the company uses cash to repurchase its stock, the number of shares shrinks. That artificially boosts the price. Your holdings become more valuable not because the company's worth more, but simply because there are fewer shares floating around. And if you're a CEO or on the board? Even sweeter. A big slice of your compensation comes in stock, so you're literally voting to pump your own net worth using company money. Apple is the master of this game. From 2013 to 2023, they spent around $600 billion on buybacks. In 2024, they announced the largest in U.S. history, $110 billion. That's more than the GDP of most countries. Media control. Here's another billionaire advantage: you can move entire markets just by talking. Want to load up on Tesla? Go on CNBC and casually mention, "Yeah, EVs are obviously the future." Stock pops 5% instantly. Want to short a pharma stock? Tweet about how drug prices are out of control, watch their shares tumble. The media hangs onto every word you say like it's gospel, because you're rich, so you must be smart, right? Retail investors treat your cryptic tweets like ancient prophecies. Remember 2018, when Musk tweeted, "I am considering taking Tesla private at $420. Funding secured. Tesla's stock jumped 6% that day, sending markets into chaos. Problem was he hadn't actually secured anything. The SEC nailed him for securities fraud. He paid a $20 million fine, but chances are, he made way more than that off the move. Short and distort. Sometimes, you don't want a stock to go up. You want it to crash. That's where short and distort comes in. Step 1, build a massive short position. Step 2, unleash the negative PR blitz. With your media connections, you plant damaging stories. Investors panic, the stock tanks. Then you buy back shares at the lower price, return them to the lender, and pocket the difference. The brilliance? You're not technically lying. You're just raising concerns and asking tough questions. By the time anyone realizes it was a setup, you're already gone and on to the next victim. Insider access. 11. One of the most powerful perks of being a billionaire is access. You don't read about deals in the newspaper, you help structure them. You get invited to closed-door conferences, private dinners, off-record chats that regular investors don't even know exist. Maybe you learn about a merger months before it's public. Maybe you hear about a government contract that'll boost a stock. Acting on that is insider trading, but the gray areas are endless. Maybe you don't buy the stock directly, but you adjust your whole portfolio. Even if you're caught, fines are usually a fraction of the profits. Look at SAC Capital. Stephen Cohen's hedge fund was practically an insider trading machine. At its peak, it managed $14 billion. Between 2011 and 2014, 8 employees were convicted. The firm paid $1.8 billion in fines, one of the biggest hedge fund cases ever. Cohen himself? Never charged criminally. Just banned from managing outside money for 2 years. Today, he runs Point72 and owns the New York Mets. Option manipulation. Let's say you want Apple stock to rise. You buy $100 million worth of call options. The market makers who sold those options now need to hedge, so they start buying Apple shares. That buying pressure lifts the price. As the stock rises, they need to buy even more to stay hedged. You've triggered a feedback loop, essentially forcing others to buy the stock for you. The crazy part? You didn't even need billions to pull this off. With relatively small capital compared to buying shares outright, you create artificial demand. When the price hits your target, you sell the options for a fat profit. Meanwhile, the market makers who are forced to buy at higher prices? They're left holding the bag once demand evaporates. Tax-optimized selling. Now, picture this: you're sitting on $500 million worth of stock but want to diversify. If you sell it outright, capital gains taxes slam you. So here's the billionaire cheat code: donate the stock to your own foundation. You claim the full market value as a charitable deduction. The foundation can sell it tax-free since it's a non-profit. And who runs the foundation? You do. So in reality, you've sold your stock, dodged all taxes, and still control the money, under the cover of philanthropy. To the public, you're the generous billionaire donating to charity. Behind the curtain, you're laughing your way to the bank. I'm not here to tell you the system is fair. It's not. But as long as you're in the game, you should at least know the rules, or better yet, how those rules don't apply to billionaires. And if you ever find yourself joining their ranks, well, now you know exactly how to play the game.